Imagine this. You're cruising at 30,000 feet when suddenly lightning illuminates the sky, and a chilling announcement comes over the intercom. The engines have failed. The cabin plunges into darkness, emergency lights flicker, and passengers are gripped with fear. This isn't a scene from a movie. It's the real-life nightmare faced by Air India Flight 101 on a harrowing journey from New Delhi to New York on September 11, 2018. Let's dive into this incredible story of survival and heroism. Air India flight from New Delhi to New York battled bad weather and multiple systems failures on September 11th. All this before making an emergency landing at Newark Airport in New Jersey instead of the intended John F. Kennedy International Airport. The pilots of Air India Flight 101 reported multiple instrument failures to JFK air traffic controllers, including the unavailability of autoland and issues with the Instrument Landing System, ILS, crucial for precise aircraft alignment during landing. This was particularly problematic due to heavy cloud cover that prevented visual landing approaches. The flight, operated by a 9-year-old Boeing 777-300, faced additional complications such as radar invisibility in the cockpit due to bad weather at New York Airport, leading to a diversion to Newark where conditions were slightly better. The pilots also reported a range of other critical system failures, including the Traffic Collision and Avoidance System, TCAS, radio altimeter issues, and low fuel. Despite these severe challenges, the flight landed safely at Newark, where emergency crews were on standby. The incident prompted an investigation by aviation authorities to address the technical issues experienced during the flight. This journey started using a Boeing 777-300 ER twin jet, equipped with two GE90 engines. This plane was first delivered to Air India in 2009 and has been in operation for over 9 years. Boeing 777-300 can be flown by 2 pilots, but because this flight was 15 hours long and covered around 12,000 kilometers, AI-101 had 4 pilots. 2 served as the main crew, and the other 2 as the relief crew. The commander was Captain Rustam Pia, a 49-year-old with 3,500 hours on this type of aircraft. In the cockpit with him were Captains Vikas, Shashant Singh, and D.S. Bhatti. It was the first time the 4 of them were flying together. Hold on, how about I let you experience this story in real time? Sounds interesting, right? Let's do this. Consider a time machine. We are going back in time to September 11th, 2018. You are not aware of anything as of now. We're going on an extraordinary journey back in time to September 11th, 2018. I am your captain, and I promise a smooth and unforgettable experience. Fasten your seatbelts, and let's dive into the past. We are flying a Boeing 777 operated by Air India on a routine flight to JFK Airport. Everything is normal, and the 370 passengers on board are settled and enjoying their journey. As the captain, I felt confident and prepared for a smooth flight. My co-pilot and I went through our usual checks. During the pre-flight briefing, the engineering staff reported that the flight's auxiliary power unit was not functioning. The APU on an aircraft like the Boeing 777-ER is not typically critical for the safe operation of the aircraft. While it provides auxiliary power for various systems when the main engines are not running, it is not a primary propulsion system. We agreed that this issue was non-critical and elected to proceed with their flight to New York. With the possibility of inclement weather in the forecast, the captain decided to load an additional 800 kilos of fuel to allow for diversion to an alternate airport if necessary. This decision would end up being crucial. The crew then asked for pushback and taxi clearance, and the plane departed Delhi at 3 a.m. local time, delayed by around 1 hour. The departure itself was uneventful. 40 minutes into the flight, just after we reached 30,000 feet over Pakistani airspace, a warning popped up on the screen. Single-source radio altimeter. This was concerning. The radio altimeter measures our height above the ground by sending signals and timing their return. Our aircraft has 3 of these for redundancy, but now it seemed 2 had failed. We were left with only 1 working altimeter, and it was crucial to determine if it was accurate. Just when we thought it couldn't get worse, another alarming warning popped up. 10 hours into the flight, as we crossed the Atlantic, a new crisis emerged. We received a warning that our traffic collision avoidance system was not working. TCAS helps us avoid other planes by using radar to detect them and advising us to climb or descend if necessary. Losing TCAS during cruise wasn't a major concern, but it's vital during takeoff and landing in crowded airspace. The cockpit was filled with blaring audio warnings and flashing lights. We needed to think quickly. Landing in New York was impossible, so we focused on finding an alternate airport. We had limited fuel, so flying to Albany, Boston, or Bradley International Airport in Connecticut wasn't an option. I decided to take the chance and attempt an approach into Newark despite the marginal weather conditions. Approaching Newark with minimal fuel and failing instruments, we faced our most critical test yet. Our instrumentation deteriorated further, causing the vertical navigation mode to malfunction. This deviation put us too high on the approach path, and with the low-hanging clouds, we couldn't spot the runway. Visibility was zero, but we decided to manually correct our descent path. Despite our concerns, we pressed on towards New York. As we entered New York airspace around 6:10 a.m., the weather was overcast with rain and clouds. Visibility was a quarter mile, and the cloud ceiling was 200 feet. We attempted to use our ILS instrument landing system to capture the localizer and glide slope, but it wasn't working. The ILS guides us to the runway, especially in poor weather, but without it, we had to try an alternate approach using GPS. This method is less precise, requiring us to see the runway at a certain altitude to land safely. As we extended the landing gear, another warning sounded, indicating the gear wasn't fully down. After a quick check, we realized it was a false alarm, but it was a significant distraction. Unable to stabilize the aircraft for landing, we decided to go around and try again. We climbed back to 2,000 feet and requested longer holding vectors to sort out our issues. Understanding cloud ceilings was now crucial. The ceiling at JFK and our alternates, Newark and Stewart, was 200 feet. For a non-precision approach like ours, we needed at least 600 feet to visually see the runway. With fuel running low, we couldn't afford multiple go-arounds and needed to land near New York. Finally, with limited fuel, critical instrument failures, and all the stress of a long flight, we hoped for the best as we descended through the clouds. The team and I were ready for whatever the final moments of this challenging flight would bring. At an altitude of just about 400 feet, and only 1.5 miles from the runway, I finally spotted the runway approach lights. We were flying at nearly 300 kilometers per hour, so we had mere seconds to act. I had to quickly align the jet and descend without the help of automated altitude readings, relying solely on my experience and instincts. With intense focus, I managed to safely land the Boeing 777-300 at Newark. Passengers on board were unaware of the ordeal we had just endured. It could have been much worse. Within 10 minutes of switching off the engines, a torrential downpour hit Newark Airport. The rapidly deteriorating weather and worsening visibility would have made a safe landing nearly impossible. Reflecting on the landing, the enormity of our ordeal began to sink in. The teamwork and calm under pressure of my fellow pilots were crucial in bringing Air India safely to the ground. This experience underscored the importance of preparation, communication, and staying calm under pressure. After landing, the gate wouldn't open due to technical issues. I tried to maintain calm and reassure everyone, even though the tension inside the cabin was growing. The flight attendants did their best to keep the passengers comfortable, providing water and updates as we waited. Finally, the gate was opened, and we began disembarking. I took a moment to thank my crew for their incredible teamwork and professionalism. Despite the challenges, we had managed to land safely, and that was a victory worth celebrating. Still in that time machine? Let's now come back to reality. After the incident, Boeing and the Directorate General of Civil Aviation started an investigation. They needed to find out why systems failed so badly and why the redundancies didn't help. They also wanted to look into our training and see if it could be improved. There were many theories about what caused the failures. Some experts thought the aircraft's information management system had a major glitch. Others believed a common bus failure led to a system reboot. These were just speculations that needed thorough investigation. Even though Air India faced financial issues, its safety record was decent. However, there were reports about some Boeing 777s being grounded due to a lack of spare parts. Following the landing, Air India conducted a thorough investigation to determine the cause of the numerous instrument failures. However, a prevailing hypothesis suggests that the aircraft's main computer, which controls the flight tech, diagnostic systems, and maintenance systems, malfunctioned. This malfunction could have caused the computer to present inaccurate values to the pilots. Despite being a crew of 4 individuals who had never flown together before, the pilots demonstrated excellent teamwork. They effectively coordinated with each other and with air traffic control, ensuring a safe landing. Their training and experience helped them manage the stressful situation and multiple equipment failures. The next day, the plane was flown back to India as a ferry flight for further inspection. Although the root cause of the failures remains unknown, the investigation aims to prevent such issues from happening again in the future. Reflecting on the flight, it is clear that the pilots' quick thinking and collaboration were crucial in safely landing the plane, despite the odds. This experience underscored the importance of preparation, communication, and staying calm under pressure. The 4 Air India pilots did a terrific job landing the plane amid such a challenging situation, said an aviation analyst who wished to remain anonymous. But we are still in the dark about the reasons that led to multiple instrument failures. If Air India wants to be prudent, it needs to investigate this case thoroughly, he added. After the stressful flight, the 4 pilots made their way to the hotel. As they walked, the reality of how close they had come to a major disaster began to sink in. None of the pilots on board AI had ever faced such a situation, not even in their training simulators. The challenges they overcame were unprecedented. "We are taught to act and not think in situations like this," said Captain Pia. "In the moment, we rely on our training and instincts to guide us. It's only afterward that the full weight of what happened really hits you." The pilots' quick thinking and excellent teamwork had been crucial in managing the series of equipment failures and safely landing the plane. Despite the relief of their successful landing, the unanswered questions about what went wrong still loomed large. The investigation into the incident would need to be thorough to ensure that such a scenario could be prevented in the future. Their experience highlighted the importance of preparation, clear communication, and maintaining composure under pressure. As the aviation community awaited the findings of the investigation, the pilots of AI-101 were commended for their skill and professionalism in handling the crisis. I appreciate you for staying with us till the end. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on the good things. Thank you all so much for watching.